Hey, Arvada Vineyard, Corey here, coming to you actually from the building. Feels a little strange to be here. We haven't been here much, but I wanted to reach out to you and let you know that this week we actually heard from the governor that churches are going to be open on June 7th. Now we've been meeting online, but we can meet in person starting June 7th in reduced capacity. And so I wanted to reach out to you just to give you that news. And let me just say, as I give that news, obviously I'm excited. It's been 3 months since we were able to be together in person. But I want to acknowledge right out of the gate, for some of us in our congregation, we have people who fall in the at-risk categories. There's also some of you who will see this and go, I'm not sure that I'm ready to engage. Like, I'm really grateful the governor's working with churches and saying, hey, let's try this starting June 7th. But you may go, I'm not ready to engage. I want to say right up front here, God bless you. You're just as much a part of our congregation, and we are going to continue to stream online so that you can worship with us. So I want to handle that right up front because I think that that's really, really important. Now, I want to share real briefly with you, and then I want to walk you through so you can actually see what we're doing to the church building to create a really safe experience. But a couple just quick convictions I want to share with you, actual values. Let me start with values. The first one is unity, and that's just what I said. We are going to be unified as a church. Whether you're at home worshiping with us or you're in the building, we're not going to say, oh, well, these people should be here, these people should be there, or, this is how we feel about Mass, or this is how, we're just not going to let any of that divide us. That is a huge value. We're going to stay on the same page, and we're going to be for one another, and we're going to bless one another, and we're going to walk this out in a really safe way, in a slow way, but in a way that we're unified. The other thing is we're going to walk in humility. We're all trying to figure this out together. We're working with the health department, with the governor's office. What are the best practices? Actually, our church got to be a part of that process about figuring out what are the protocols and the guidelines. So a huge honor for us to do that. But we are walking in humility going, we're going to learn every week and continue to get better at doing this. And then finally, we're going to be really flexible. We're going to be flexible. We're going to adapt as we go along to make sure that it's a really meaningful experience and a safe experience. So 2 convictions. Conviction number 1, I already talked about. We are honoring everyone in our church. So if you are at risk or you're not yet ready, you're not comfortable yet and ready to come in an in-person way, we honor you, we love you, and we say, join us through worship online. That will continue. The second conviction I have is just, it is good for the people of God to meet. I think it's good for our souls. If our authorities are saying we can, and we're following protocols and we can do it in a safe way, I think it's really good for us to meet, to be together. I think something very special happens, like God is in the midst of his people. I know we gathered for the very first time just a little bit ago with some of our prayer team folks, socially distanced outside. And it was the first time that many of us had seen each other, except for Zoom. We'd been meeting on Zoom, and it just did something to my soul. It was like, this is amazing to see my brothers and sisters. And so I think it's good for us to gather. But the real question is, can we do that in a safe way? And so that's what I want to address just really quickly before we end. And I just want to show you what things are going to look like. So the thing that's still a little in the air right now is when services are going to be. So we're going to try to do 45-minute services, 8:30, 9:30, and 10:30. Those could shift depending. Next week, the final guidance is going to be out for June 7th. We're not sure if they're going to put a cap on people or percentage, so that could shift our service times just a little. But for now, we're going to aim at 8:30, 9:30, and 10:30 so we create more space for social distancing. We are going to ask you to register, and that's just so we can assure that there's a seat for everyone, that we can socially distance and there's a seat. We are going to leave a percentage of the seats open for our guests who just didn't know that we were asking for registering, and we'll just have them register when they get here just so we have a numbers count and we keep everybody safe. So you're going to see a link every week, Sunday night or Monday morning for Planning Center, where you're going to be able to register either yourself or your household, however that works for you. To start with, we're not going to do kids or youth ministry. Youth they have been meeting. A lot of our kids have been meeting on Zoom. That'll continue. Youth are going to meet in a park every few weeks, but also do Zoom. But on Sundays, we're not going to do kids or youth, just to start with, because some of the social distancing requirements will be challenging. And we want time to keep working through that, so we do that in a really good way and a safe way. And plus, we want to make sure as we start our services that we give all our energy to make sure that we serve you really, really well. Okay, so you're going to start outside. I'm in the lobby, but just imagine you're going to be outside. You're going to be waiting for the doors to open. And when the doors open, you're going to come on in and you just follow me in here. And this room's going to look a little strange probably to you, for those of you who are used to this room. But what I want you to notice as we stop here is that we are going to create a touchless experience. So the front doors will be open. You just walk through the sanctuary doors. As you look around this room, there's nothing that you're going to have to touch. And I think that that's important for those of you who that matters for you. Know that between the services, we're going to clean the restrooms and we'll be wiping down every single chair. We're not going to have cafe in the beginning, no food or beverage. We ask you not to bring anything. Again, we're trying to protect everyone, including our volunteers. And when you walk in here, you're going to see an usher probably about where I'm at. Maybe at the end down here, you see we have arrows showing you the direction and the flow of where people will walk. We'll probably actually between now and then add a little more tape so you see the aisles even more clearly. But we have ushers that are going to help you find a seat that fits, whether you're a single person, maybe you defined your household as you and a roommate, whether you actually came with a family, you have a couple kids. We have different seating configurations, so our ushers are going to help you with that. Okay. As I say that, let me just say we are asking you to wear masks. And let me just say one quick thing about that, because I know this has become political and all that. We want to err on the side of caution. And for those of you who go, I don't really love masks, and I don't know that I want to wear that to church. I'm just asking you to consider, will you wear it? We're asking you to wear it actually to be a part of it. But it's your way of telling everyone around you that you love them, that you're willing to set aside sort of what would feel freedom to you to love them. And so I'm asking you to do that. That's part of our protocols in the opening phase so that everyone feels really, really safe. Parents, know that when we walk through that door, there's going to be coloring sheets and brand new crayons every week. So we're going to try to help the kiddos out. And then follow me this way. So we're going to get our service down to 45 minutes. There's, roughly 15 minutes of worship, 15 minutes of preaching. We're going to have time to respond. We're probably going to continue to do litany together. There's going to be a lot of ways for us to engage, which I think will be really, really meaningful. And now I'm going to walk out in the way as we get towards the end of the service, the way that things will go. Because on this side of the room, I want to show you as you walk out, there's a couple things happening. You know that prayer is a huge deal at our church. We want to make sure that we have an opportunity to pray for people. And so I wanted to show you as the service in that last 10 or 15 minutes we're responding, we have set up our youth room. And I will come in here. We've set up our youth room in a way that we'll be able to pray for people in here. So right now we're starting to get tape on the floor. We're starting to build boxes 6 feet apart where if people want individualized prayer, they can get it. Of course, they don't have to, but that's going to be available. The other last thing I want to show you, parents, if your kids get upset, I know there's a concern about that. What if I bring my 2-year-old or my 3-year-old and, they get upset in the middle of the service, as sometimes they do? We're going to be over here, the family room. We don't have it set up yet, but this is going to be available to you. There's going to be social distancing boxes, so you can step out of the service, step in there. It'll be streamed. We'll also probably stream into the youth room eventually, so there'll be even more space if you need to step out for a few minutes with your child to kind of get them calm and to come back. And then listen, we're right here. This is where everyone's going to exit. So we came in the front doors, and then we're going to go out these doors into the parking lot. And again, this door will be propped. So your entire experience, you won't have to touch anything if you don't want to. Okay, and last thing, you can hang out if you want to in the parking lot. That's up to you. We trust you to make decisions for what is best for you, your family, your health. And that's basically how it's going to look. So we're really looking forward to being with you. If you can come back, we're going to give more guidance next week, but we're planning to meet on June 7th, and we look forward to it. Look for the registration link coming real soon. Bless you.